This call celeb is celebrated each year by students of this school with an endowment established by Santehene Baffour Osei Akoto II in 2006. Following the footsteps of your predecessors, this competition seeks to highlight the importance of human rights in our pursuit of a more equal and just society. The facts of the case are well known, and I'm sure you students are by now acquainted with them. However, for the purposes of this event, I would like to give you the highlights of the event leading to the case. Baffour Osei Akoto came into prominence in the mid-1950s during the struggle for independence of the Gold Coast from British rule. He formed a political party, the National Liberation Movement, NLM, in September 1954 to oppose a virtual one-party system which was then emerging under Kwame Nkrumah and the CPP, the Convention People's Party. He led cocoa farmers in the struggle to obtain a decent producer price to better the lives of cocoa farmers at the time. During the March 1954 election campaign, Kwame Nkrumah had promised to double the producer price of cocoa farmers if they voted for the CPP. After winning the elections, instead of doubling the producer price of cocoa as promised, Kwame Nkrumah turned around to announce a reduction in the producer price, thereby putting cocoa farmers at a financial disadvantage. The furore which followed this broken promise led to severe agitation against CPP in the cocoa growing areas of the time. Being a popular figure in the cocoa growing community because of his position as the senior linguist to the Asantehene and as a big cocoa farmer himself, Baffour was a natural choice to lead this agitation. This finally resulted in him founding and leading the first political party in Ashanti, which at the time included Bono East and Ahafo today. His role in standing up for the rights of cocoa farmers and advocating for multi-party democracy, Baffour Osei Akoto and hundreds of others were detained under the Preventive Detention Act 1958 and was kept in Nsawam Medium Security Prison in solitary confinement for a period of nearly 6 years. Baffour and the top hierarchy of detained political prisoners, including Dr. J.B. Dankwa, were kept in cells meant for condemned prisoners who had been found guilty of murder. The condition of their lives in detention is adequately articulated by a letter written by J.B. Dankwa to President Nkrumah in February 1965, and I quote, "I find myself locked up at Nsawam prison in a cell about 6 feet by 9 feet, without a writing or reading desk, without a dining table, without a bed or a chair or any form of seat, and compelled to eat my food squatting on the same floor where 2 blankets and a cover are spread for me on the hard cement to sleep on, and where a latrine pan, paste pot in brackets, without a closet, and a water jug and a cup without a locker are all assembled in that narrow space for my use like a galley slave. As aforementioned, and I'm still quoting, I'm not allowed to do any reading except the Bible. And I am, on the other hand, required to sleep or keep lying on blankets and a small pillow for the whole 24 hours of the day and night, except for a short period of about 5 minutes in the morning to empty and wash out my latrine pan, and about 10 to 15 minutes at noon to go for a bath. I'm occasionally allowed to do a short exercise in the sun, say once a week for about half an hour. I'm quoting now. This is what J.B. Dankwa suffered in cell number 9 of the condemned block at Nsawam prison. It was pretty much the same conditions next door where Baffour Osei Akoto found himself in cell number 11. He suffered such inhuman indignity and conditions for nearly 6 years. That is the price Baffour paid for advocating for better life for cocoa farmers and for pluralistic democracy system of government. The celebrated case, Ray Akoto, was an attempt by the political prisoner to declare his detention unlawful on the grounds of human rights. What I have recounted about the life of Baffour Akoto demonstrates the price one has to pay sometimes for advocating for equality and freedom of political choice. The latest example of our time is Nelson Mandela and the story of South Africa, where after 27 years of political prison, apartheid was indeed abolished and South Africa gained its independence and became a multiracial society. In Ghana, Mr. Chairman, I'm appealing to the students now. You as law students are privileged to be a privileged group. You leave the portals of this school to go into the legal profession, which is known all over the world as an advocacy profession. Human rights, racial discrimination, gender and disability inequalities. 10, 20 years from now, most of you will have successful practices and be well-to-do members of the Ghanaian society. The sacrifices that Baffour Akoto and the Mandelas made to bring equality and justice to society should not be lost on you. You may be sitting in your comfort zone after school, pursuing your profession. That should not blind you to the injustices of this society. A lot has been achieved in the past years, but a lot of injustices still remain in our society. It will be your responsibility to uphold the advocacy pursued by our forefathers. As trained advocates, it is incumbent upon you to continually uphold the rule of law to address the inequalities in society which Baffour Osei Akoto and others fought for. I wish you all a healthy and successful competition. Thank you.